All right, welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we're doing a reading about what your ancestors want to tell you right now. So we're going to be using the 3 cards that you see here. Card number 1 is Star Ancestor. Card number 2 is the Knight. And card number 3 is Protection Guardian. Choose the card or multiple cards that resonate with you and use the timestamps linked in the description box or pinned in the comment section below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. If you feel called to more than one, that's okay. You can watch 1, you can watch 2, you can watch all 3, you can watch them in sequence, or you can watch them in the order that you feel intuitively called. It is entirely up to you. Trust your intuition to guide you to the messages that are meant for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. We'll see you in your readings. All right, hi group number 1. If you chose Star Ancestor, your card says, follow the voice of your soul. So we're going to find out what your ancestors want you to know. It sounds like, or it looks like from the card you've chosen, these are galactic ancestors. These could be individuals from your galactic family, from your star soul group of origin, and or they could be ancestors within your lineage who are connected to that galactic line, or all of the above. So let's take a look. Where do I want to start? I think I'm going to go with the Lemuria deck first for you guys. These are all new decks that I have from subscribers who have sent in from my Amazon wish list. I am just so blown away by your guys' generosity. Thank you from the deepest depths of the bottom of my heart for the amazing gifts that you've sent me. I have no words. Obviously, I'm like stumbling over my words because I'm blown away. Anyway, okay, I'll stop gushing and let's get into your reading, group 1. So, oh, there we go. You have solar plexus, radiant illumination. You also have heart chakra, unfurling back to love. So it looks like your ancestors are really wanting you to focus on some chakra healing, specifically, obviously, the solar plexus and the heart. And these two, they are neighbors. They sit right next to each other. Actually, I want to put them this way because just kind of in sequence, if we're going from root to sacral to solar plexus to heart, that would be kind of how they would sit. Now let's take a look at these cards. Ooh, wow, that was very, very ready to come out there. These are new to me, so I'm going to use the guidebook for these ones. Obviously, they're brand new. And, oh, okay, I need to cover that. Hold on. Sorry, YouTube's really strict about nudity now, and even in cards, sometimes it'll get the video flagged. So just keep that covered up. So epsilon modulation. Okay, we'll take a look at that once we get the cards on the table here. Let's get one from these as well. Oh, you got 2. You have peace and courage. Okay. Yeah, peace really feels like to me connected to the love here, and the courage feels connected to the solar plexus. I still don't know what epsilon modulation is, so I'm curious to find out. All right, I feel this one. Gazelle, change and purity. Get a couple more from here. We might get some charms too. I got so many charms from you guys. Like, thank you so much. I can't believe it. Success, pride, and the crown. Okay. I feel this one as well. The tree, stability and growth. All right. Nope, they said there's one more in here for you guys. Oh, there it is. Horse. This one keeps coming out, as so many readings have had the horse in it since I got this deck, which was only a few days ago. Freedom and action. Okay, I'm just gonna put that there for a sec. All right. Okay, let's get some tarot cards to get an idea what's going on here. Wow, you have the star and she's naked too. Hold on. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. So the star card, that's peace for sure. Four of Cups. I really love this deck. The imagery on it is beautiful. And it's small, so it fits really nice in my hands. Oh, wow, the Empress. Okay, you guys. I think I'm going to start getting into these cards here. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. I felt called to pull it. And that really, it's like giving me solar plexus, courage. The Empress feels like peace and the heart chakra. So it's all kind of connected here. So let me just kind of tune into these cards and we'll see what's going on here. So I do want to read you guys the Epsilon modulation. It says, gather your energies and go within to regenerate. Let your actions match your inner rhythms. Rather than trying to force yourself to keep pace with external cues, commit to your own natural timing and pace. As you ground and connect to your center, you will realize your spiritual power to be at cause in any situation of concern. You have such goodness and light within you. Let go of shaming or blaming and embrace the spiritual beauty within. All right, so what really stands out to me here is regeneration. That's also, being emphasized here by the Star card. Letting your actions match your inner rhythms really feels to me, solar plexus. And then they're talking about grounding and connecting to your center, again, solar plexus. Spiritual power, again, solar plexus. Like they're very much emphasizing that. And then the love, yeah, the spiritual beauty within from the heart. Wow. Okay. So your ancestors here, group number 1, they're really talking about doing some solar plexus and heart healing. A lot of this is connected to your spiritual power. So this is how you create stability. I wouldn't be surprised if the root chakra was involved here as well, because the tree and the Empress are giving me like grounded energy, and they did say like grounding, returning to your center. So I think that grounding through the root chakra is definitely part of this. And it's reconnecting to a part of you that is very pure, to a part of you that is abundantly free, because it is powerful. And because this power is used with courage, you can take action and move towards success and create success in your life with pride. So there's this energy of creation. There's an energy of centeredness, just being very stable within yourself, where maybe in past your ancestors may have struggled with this in your lineage. Now, because this is a star ancestor, a star soul family member who's coming through here. And actually, there's many of them. There's much more than just one, because now they're showing me that there's like at least 30 in this group of star beings that are wanting to relay this message. They are trying to transmit to you peace. It's actually coming through the crown chakra, and it's helping you to regenerate your body and to heal some emotional disconnection is the word that they just gave me, disconnection that resulted from some previous failures, perceptions of failure, but is what they said, because there's really no failure in the spirit realm. Like there's only learning, there's only experience. And so anything that is perceived as a failure is really actually something that is catalyzing growth and evolution of the soul. It takes courage to really kind of admit that and to acknowledge and understand that process and to embrace it. And that's what I'm seeing here, is that as you're changing, it's like sort of renewing this sense of strength within you, because it does challenge you. It does challenge you to step into your power and to really face your fears, which in this case is kind of like feeling the fear and doing it anyway, because that's courage. Courage doesn't mean that you don't have fear. It means that you face the fear even though you feel it. And you take action despite that. It does take groundedness and the stability to be able to do that, though. I think that's why they're really emphasizing the grounding and the recentering, because if you've had a hard time feeling safe, chances are that you've also had a hard time feeling successful or feeling like you can trust yourself to take action when you're called. And I'm seeing that there's a regeneration that's happening because your ancestors are bringing to you this purity from within. They're reigniting is what they're showing me. Yeah, they're reigniting a lot of very pure white light is what it looks like to me. It's a high level spiritual energy, and it's a very high frequency. And this is helping to modulate, because they just took me to the word modulate, some of the previous misalignments, fears, distortions, shame and guilt as well, that were kind of lingering around in your energy system. And it's helping to kind of purge that out as you face your fears and step into action as it comes to creativity. Because that's a major thing that I see here with the Queen of Wands and the Empress. I really feel like creativity is a big part of this, and it's going to help to foster growth, is what they just said. So because it helps to connect you and it helps to bring you a sense of peace and groundedness, through creativity, you can really regenerate even more. And it will help to reconnect you back to your emotional self. Where there was distortion or tears or misalignment, it's like through the creativity and the pursuing of your creative passions, you're able to feel a renewal and to experience the growth that that renewal brings. Okay, they just called me to another deck that was also sent in by a subscriber. Thank you, thank you, thank you, you guys. I can't believe how generous you guys are and how blessed I am. I love you guys. Oh my God, look at that. You have the Empress again. They're really driving it home here. They want you to know that you are the creative force and that this is something that is in your lineage. There is power within your creativity. That is your power, is what they just said. That is your power. Your creativity is your power. That is what creates growth. And it can also create a sense of stability, because it's through your creative expression that you heal, that you're present in the moment, and that you're connected to spirit. And they're showing me the lineage, the line is connected best when you're in your creative power, because you are a creator being. You are not just creative, you are a creator. And so whether or not you're actively creating through art, you're always creating through your mind. You're creating through your heart. You're creating through the experience that you have in this life, is what they just said. So it is embracing a change in the way that you create based on how you feel. And as you change how you feel, you change what you're creating. And as you change what you're creating, you change how you perceive your life and yourself. Okay, I want to clarify success and pride. You have the Tower. Oh, and they just gave me the phrase, pride comes before the fall. And I'm also getting the scene in Pride and Prejudice when Elizabeth asks Mr. Darcy, and would you consider pride a fault or a virtue? Because we're doing our best to find a fault in you. So I'm feeling as though in past lives or in your ancestral line, there was pride. Oh my God, look at that. On the bottom of the deck, you have the Queen of Wands. You can't make this shit, you guys. It's amazing. 2 Queen of Wands, 2 Empresses. I just like, wow. Talk about powerful. This is amazing. And strength is underneath that too. So yeah, it's very much to do with having the strength to kind of face your fears and to not let negative pride hold you back. Because I think there's positive pride and there's negative pride. And I think that's why they gave me those references, is because negative pride comes before the fall. Negative pride comes from the ego's attachment to its identity of a false self, is what they just told me, of a false self. Whereas positive pride is the feeling of stability and strength within the aligned self, is the phrase, the aligned self, the true self. So there's the false self and the true self. And if you are coming from a place that is attached to the identity and the perceived successes or perceived value of that false self, then you build a tower that will inevitably have to come down. It's like the Tower of Babel. It needs to come down because it's built on a foundation that is not in alignment with your truth. So they're saying that success will come for you as a result of positive pride, which is really self-confidence. And it's built through the courage and the inner peace to really embrace your creative power, because they're really, really emphasizing creativity in your reading here, you guys. Like the Empress twice and the Queen of Wands twice. This is very much about what you are creating, how you are creating it, and more importantly, why you are creating it. I think freedom for you will come through your ability to embrace change and action, because sometimes the Tower card comes to throw us off balance because it's trying to wake us up to the fact that something is off balance to begin with. It's kind of like we've been trying to keep our footing on really, really rickety ground. And it's like the Tower comes in as divine intervention to move us to a position that's much more stable. And they've talked a lot about stability in this reading for you. So your ancestors really want you to know that it's not so much about trying to maintain your stability in an unstable environment. It's more like redirection to get you into an environment that's much more stable. And sometimes the Tower comes in as positive change in the sense that it's actually like an opportunity is kind of what they're showing it to me as. It's not necessarily like things being stripped away and very challenging type of energy where the Tower is like chaos and dysfunction in that moment, that because it's like something needed to change so quickly. They're giving me Uranus energy with this, like the planet, and that is like great upheaval, you know. But I think that in a positive way, if you initiate this change yourself, like if you take action towards freedom and stability on your own, then the Tower becomes something that is really, really supportive. Like the Tower moment is no longer about destruction. It is actually about production, where you are creating something. You're building a new tower. You're building one that's much more stable, and the foundation is not going to crumble underneath your feet when a little bit of a challenge or a bump in the road comes about. They're really emphasizing grounding here for you. Like they keep showing me the flowers in these cards and in the star card as well. So I feel like it may be hard for you, group number 1, to ground, because what they're showing me here in the 4 of Cups is like he's out in space on like this little, I don't know, that would be like a little comet or something like that. And it's like it's hard to ground if you don't have something to ground to. And I think that's what they're talking about here with the Tower as well. Is like if the Tower's foundation is unstable, again, it's going to be really hard for you to find your balance and a sense of stability, and therefore the stability to actually grow, because there's really nothing to kind of root down into. So I think that maybe you've felt that way, or that's kind of been an experience you've had here on Earth, because obviously you're not from here. Since your ancestors are from the stars, you don't originate here. And a lot of us don't, right? And if you're drawn to these readings, there's a reason, because I'm a starseed too, and I don't come from Earth. But we can make our home here, and we have. And the way that we do that is by being a creator. And home is literally where the heart is. I know it's cliche, but it's true. Because the heart is the 5th dimensional frequency. And when we connect to that, we create home. We create heaven on earth. That's what you're here to do, group number 1. You're here to create heaven on earth. You're the Empress. You're the Queen of Wands. Male or female, doesn't matter. It's the energy of creation. It's the creatrix is actually the word that they just gave me. I've never used that word before, creatrix. And they're showing me that it means like, it's like the archetype of the goddess of creation. And it's through a sense of grounding and stability and reconnection to your inner peace that you can really start to manifest in a way that is going to be very aligned and supportive for you in your life. It's going to feel very freeing, is what they told me. Yeah, it's going to feel very freeing, liberating. It's going to feel liberating and expansive. Like there's going to be so much more room to grow, because you finally have the space and the fertile foundation to root down into. And then you start taking action, and you start trusting yourself, and you feel radiant and illuminated, as it says in the card here. And you're able to really take pride, positive pride, in the confidence and security that you've built within yourself, and by extension in your life. Okay, now they're telling me we can get charms, and they're calling me to this bag. There's a couple of different bags here because you guys really spoiled me here with all of these charms and cards. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so let me just kind of pick one intuitively by feel. No. It's this one. Oh, wow, the dragon. So this little brass dragon, it feels, first of all, the word that came to me was ancient. It feels ancient. It feels extremely powerful. You may be drawn to the Orion constellation. That just came through as well. There could be something to do with Orion. The tail of the dragon is almost looking very similar to the Tower card here. Like if I hold these up next to each other. Even kind of like the shape and the way that they're making that almost like S shape. It's very reminiscent of one another. So I feel like there's something to do with the tail. And the tail of the dragon speaks to me of the South Node in astrology. Like Rahu and Ketu. And the tail of the dragon is, you know, the past life things that we've kind of gotten stuck in. And I think that that's why if there is any tower moments in your life, it's because it's redirection to get you out of that stuckness so that there can be positive change, like Uranus energy, right? Like positive change that can help you to move out of the old ways and into active creation is what the phrase they just used, active creation of a new life and developing yourself and growing and evolving as you create that. Okay, so it's funny because they want me to grab these cards now. And again, thank you to the donator who sent these in. These are beautiful. I'm blown away by these cards. They're so deep and profound, and the guidebook is absolutely gorgeous. So I was actually initially told that I was not going to use these in the readings. I asked if we were going to put them, so I didn't put them up at the top with the rest of the decks because they told me no. And since we were just talking about Uranus and Rahu and Ketu and the South Node, they were like, now you can use the astrology cards because that's what these are. You have House 4, cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. Okay, peace, again, roots, again. So this is very much like and they're showing me the nest here in the card. So it's like how you create by creating stability, right? If you don't feel safe, it's really hard to create. Like being in survival mode, there's no room for creation or innovation or development or growth for that matter, because you're just fighting to survive, I should say, really. And so what I'm seeing here is that through healing this wound within your solar plexus and your heart chakra, or wounds, maybe plural, you're able to create a deeper sense of stability within yourself and connection to your family, to your roots. And you have the 5th house as well. Okay, passion, play, children, confidence and creativity. Confidence, courage. Confidence is definitely something we were talking about, right? So here we go, confirmation. And creativity, again, huge emphasis here in your reading. Your ancestors really, really want you to focus on your creativity and what that actually means for you. Because again, it's like, it doesn't have to be what you think of when you think of quintessential creativity. It can really be anything. And even just manifesting and creating your life is creativity as well. Okay, they said get 2 more from this deck. Gemini, curiosity, intellect, and networking. So Gemini energy may be important for you in this lifetime. So this could be developing communication skills, could be being more adaptable, as it is a mutable sign. So it's like embracing change, embracing a change within yourself too, because the butterflies really speak of transformation. I didn't even notice that you have the house 5 with the bird, and then you have the house 4 with the bird's nest. So it's like, it feels like, again, those two are connected. And the transformation that you're going through is like a big part of that. What is this one on top? Yeah. The sun, self-express and embody truth. The sun is your self, really. It's your sense of self. It's your personal power. It's your external expression. It's your ego. It's your creative passion too, they just said. Yeah. On the bottom of the deck, you have Libra, consideration, fairness, and harmony. So air signs seem to be important here. Those are being emphasized for sure. So if I look at these, I really see, creative expression and embracing the curiosity to be able to pursue, again, what your creativity means for you, because it's going to be different for everyone. And because it's so unique and individual, it can be a process of discovering what creativity means for you. And that also, it might change, because even the creator of this deck, like I was reading the back cover of the book and a little bit about the author of the deck, and she actually started out as like a fashion creator. So she was doing like fashion design and clothes. And then she got sort of drawn into the spiritual realm, and she wanted to create this passion project, which was this astrology deck. So you can see that creativity can kind of morph and change and adapt, and being too rigid about one way of creating can maybe sometimes be counterproductive, counterintuitive, and limit your growth is kind of what they're showing me here. So they really want you to embrace kind of adapting, changing, and being open to flowing with your creative inspiration, wherever that happens to lead you. And yeah, just giving yourself kind of the freedom. And they just gave me the phrase free range. Like, what is this? Like free range chickens? But yeah, it's like free reign. Oh, sorry. They corrected me. I misheard it. That's funny. That very rarely ever happens, but it can happen. Free reign. Yeah. Free reign to be able to just expand and explore and express and create and play. Like, yeah, passion, play, find your passion, find what lights that inspiration, that spark within you, and pursue it and create something beautiful and take pride in that and feel successful. But don't let the pride in the ego sense dominate you, right? It's positive pride, not negative pride. And it's just polarity. It doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's just polarity. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all that your ancestors wanted to say, group number 1. Let me just double check and make sure if there's anything else they want to communicate to you in this reading. And they're showing me downloads. Yeah, downloads through the crown chakra. We did sort of talk about that, but I didn't use that phrase. You're getting energetic downloads. And I think a lot of that is meant to be expressed creatively. And that's why they're really emphasizing the creative expression here, because you're meant to be building, you're meant to be growing, you're meant to be expressing, you're meant to be creating. It takes courage to put yourself out there that way, because creating for the sake of creating is one thing, but it's also about sharing that and being more open with that is kind of what I'm seeing here, and how you feel safe within that expression. But yeah, you're getting like major downloads of creative inspiration, and they want you to really like leap and bound, because they just showed me the gazelle, and then in my mind's eye they showed me a gazelle leaping and bounding, like huge jumps that they take. So it's like, again, it speaks of like changing direction. It speaks of taking a leap of faith and trusting in your own power, because the gazelle is so connected and really stable within itself that it trusts its body to be able to respond. Like if it says jump, its body jumps like 10 feet. They're amazing gazelles. Like if you've ever seen them jump like that, it's insane. Imagine if we could jump that high, that far as humans. So I feel like it's kind of like you got to trust your own wings, because they just drew me to the wings of the dragon, and then they're showing me the bird and the nest. It's like you've got to trust your own wings to kind of jump out of the nest and fly. And it is a bit of a creative free fall is the phrase that I just heard. So it's a creative free fall, but it's part of you learning to trust yourself and find peace within, so that no matter where your intuition and your creative spark is guiding you, you have an internal sense of stability and grounding. And that's another thing that they're helping to activate within you. It gives you something to anchor to, so that you feel more emotionally stable and physically stable and present and grounded here on earth, so that you can do what you came here to do, which is most definitely involved with creativity and some kind of I just also got the word leadership. So it could be creative leadership, creative projects, creative passion, something that you are building, something that you are doing, something that you are manifesting, because that's very much Queen of Wands energy, all of that. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. They said, no, that's it. Okay, so that was the main message for you guys, group number 1. That is what your ancestors from the stars wanted to tell you. And I'm very thankful that they called me to do this reading today. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Cleo Ra, because it was so funny. I had scheduled to do the ancestors reading yesterday, but I didn't have the energy to do it. So I kind of put it off for today. And I woke up this morning and the first reading that kind of popped up on my YouTube feed was Cleo Ra's, and it said, you know, ancestors right in the title. And I was like, oh, that's so perfect. I love that alignment. So shout out to Cleo Ra if you guys want to check out her channel. She doesn't do pick a cards. She does tarot readings though, and they're kind of like freestyle lottery style readings where she never knows what it's going to be going into it, and then she just kind of reads the energy and intuitively shares the messages, and she's fabulous. So I highly recommend her and her channel, and she's recommended me and shouted me out on her channel too. So thank you, Cleo. You're amazing. I love you, girl. So yeah, that is what I see for you, group 1. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, sending these beautiful donations of the cards and the charms through the Amazon wish list that I have linked in the description box, and to all the members who support my channel that way as well. And if you guys are interested in becoming a member, you get ad-free pick a card readings, weekly guidance, monthly live streams where I answer questions, how-to tutorials. I'm going to be coming out with tarot reading courses as well. So there's plenty of things that add a lot of value through the membership. So if you guys are interested, hit the join button to check out the tiers. And if you don't see it below the video, that means you're on an iOS device and you do need to go through a desktop or a different device or web page, because for whatever reason, sometimes the app doesn't show it. So anyway, thank you guys. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your ancestors reading. So you guys chose Knight, and it says be brave and honest. So let's find out what your ancestors are wanting to tell you. I'm actually wanting to start with the tarot for you guys. So let's take a look. We'll grab all of the cards and then we'll find out what the message is. So for group number 2, no way. I shuffled the deck. I cleared it. I reset it. And you have the Empress, which came out in group number 1. So obviously this is relevant. All right. So we'll find out more information. For group number 2, what do their ancestors want them to know? The 3 of Wands. I'm feeling an expressive energy. Yeah, it feels like expression. You have the Wheel of Fortune as well. Okay. And the Ace of Discs, the Ace of Pentacles. I love this deck. Thank you so much to the subscriber who sent that to me, who sent this deck to me. This one was sent in, and this one by different subscribers. So thank you guys so much from my Amazon wish list down below. You guys are awesome. Truly, truly awesome. Okay, let's grab some Lemuria cards. Oh, yeah, okay. I feel that one as well, so. You have Crown Chakra, the Unlimited Self. Is that in frame? Hold on. Yep, good. You have Soul Star Chakra, Merging with the Divine. And you have Ether, the Seamless Unspeakable. These are all very, very high level spiritual energies. Yeah. The Crown, the Soul Star, and the Ether, like, wow, these are very, very high level spiritual energies. So what you're working with here is super high vibrational. That's what I'm sensing. Okay. And it's something to do with expression, something to do with communication. But I want to find out more information. I do feel this one. You have Alpha of Alcyone, and this is my first time with this deck, so I am going to get the guidebook for this one. Alpha of Alcyone. Okay. All right, let's take a look at these ones. All of these decks are so amazing. You guys really chose some fantastic decks for us to use here. So you have acceptance. I accept every step that life presents me without resistance. I try to find out what the universe is trying to teach me so that I can grow. Thus, I advance in freedom on the path of light. Yeah, this is like very, very high level light worker energy that I'm seeing here. And it's bringing something to fruition is the word that I just got. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, that one's ready. You have old man, inheritance, male. Well, it's interesting because the card you chose was knight, which is the masculine energy. And I was feeling, and I was just about to say that this feels like something from like a past timeline or something, like ancestral, where in the sense that what I'm trying to say here is it felt like kind of like knights of the Round Table or Knights Templar or something like that. And so I feel like there was something to do with the energy of a male, masculine energy that you are inheriting. And this is kind of what your ancestor is wanting to talk about here. There's one more in here. Okay. It's this one. Oh, you have dog, loyalty and determination. All right. So, yeah, be brave and honest. It's like this integrity, and there's something to do with receiving spiritual energy and offering that up in some way. It's like expressing that, building with that, manifesting with that, kind of similar to the message in group 1, but very, very different, because theirs was coming from like the star lineage, whereas yours is coming from this past, it feels like a past life connection, but I think that it's in the lineage. So it's something connected to the male line in your family. No, they actually corrected me. They said not necessarily just the patrilineal line, but also, yeah, like in addition to that, or maybe even, yeah, no, it's not that at all. Okay. They're wanting me to like backtrack because that wasn't right. And whenever I try to share a message that's not accurate, it's like I hit a wall, or it's like, yeah, like I'm going through a maze and all of a sudden I hit like a brick wall, you know, and I have to kind of like backtrack and go back the other way. Okay, so it's not within your male lineage. Okay, so what is it then, Spirit? They gave me an energy of devotion. So they're not really telling me where this is coming from, but they gave me the energy of devotion and then pointed me to loyalty and determination. So there's something to do with that in this reading. No? Okay. Okay. I'm just going to move all these down just a smidge because I realized they're a bit far up there. So, yeah, I just, it's very spiritual. You know, why don't we read this one? And I think that's going to give us some context here. So, Alpha of Alcyone, a positive twist of fate and a windfall of good fortune are destined for you. Brightness and hope will alleviate negativity and give you the strength to find your way through a time of adversity or challenge. Finally, you will experience peace, love, and deep connection with your true self and the universe. Good things are on their way to you. And Alcyone is the brightest star in the Pleiades star system. So I do feel like there is a connection to a galactic lineage here as well. And it says the sacred feminine. So it's interesting that we have the sacred feminine and the masculine here with the inheritance from a male or an old man. They do want me to read this. Okay. The brightest star in the Pleiades star system, Alcyone holds the frequency of love, the sacred feminine healing power of compassion, and the grace of mercy. In the myths of ancient Greece, Alcyone was so in love with her husband Sussex that she referred to him as Zeus, and he referred to her as the divine wife of Zeus, Hera. Zeus was so irritated by such grandiosity that when Sussex was at sea, Zeus struck his ship with a lightning bolt. In her grief, Alcyone threw herself into the sea. Moved by mercy, the gods transformed the lovers into kingfishers. These birds embody the spiritual medicine of abundance, love, prosperity, peace, and happiness, bringing blessings of hope and healing to humanity. Okay, there's a whole bunch more, but I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I get the sense that there's something that's being transformed. I also feel like this may be almost like an extension of reading number 1. I feel like these two are sort of indirectly connected, or there's some kind of, the message is like crossing over a little bit. It's different, but it feels quite similar or connected. But anyway, I'm seeing that you're merging back with your unlimited self, right? The unlimited self merging with the divine, the seamless unspeakable. You are creating a merge point, is what they just told me, with yourself in the divine. And that's why there's an inheritance from this older energy. Okay, that's what it is. So it's not like an ancestor in the physical sense. It's more so an aspect of you. Yes, there we go. I finally hit on it. Okay, finally. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to puzzle it all out. But yeah, okay. So this is an acquisition, is the word that they just gave me, of energy from your, they said, okay, sorry, they want me to backtrack. Emotional energy. They're like, clarify that, please. Emotional energy from your higher self, essentially. And your star lineage is part of that as well. So again, your ancestors are part of that, but they keep giving me the energy of the Knights Templar, or like King Arthur's court, or like knights from the Middle Ages. So I think there's definitely a lifetime there that is important as well, and it's connected to this spiritual embodiment in some way. Yeah, they're giving me they took me to the Wheel of Fortune, which is to do with time. So it's like cycles of time have passed, and they just gave me the equality of time. Equality of time. Cycles being reborn. They did just give me the word regeneration with the Empress as well. So cycles being reborn, regeneration happening. And universe is trying to teach me so that I can grow. So that, yeah, they're emphasizing that. So there's something to do with growth here, where you can be reborn in a way. And there were sacrifices made in past lives. I think that was the night lifetime. Ah, yes, okay. They said not just that one, there were other ones too. Okay, so there were sacrifices made, and you kind of just had to accept and let go that the human experiences of these incarnations were challenging. And it was through the embracing of your wholeness of self. It's like the triangle here that they're showing me in the Three of Wands represents the mind, body, and soul connection to the higher self. So it's like the unity. And it was through the integration of these three parts that you were able to accept and understand that there was a larger purpose to what was happening in these lifetimes, and that you could, through this determination and sheer will, is what they just said, through sheer will and the loyalty to your soul and your higher self and your progression, you were able to really like let go of any attachments. Because that's what I'm seeing is that, yeah, that's why this is related to group number 1, because they keep giving me the phrase pride before the fall. And that was like the whole story of Sussex and what's her name. So I feel like there's something to do with authenticity, expression, alignment with the divine, and the loyalty and the determination to be within your integrity. Okay, so now I want to get clarifiers from this deck. You have the Death card. Yeah, I think that in those lifetimes, it may have even led to your death. Like, that's how determined you were to stay in integrity. It's like, you're like, well, if I die, I die. You know, I know that I'm an infinite soul. I'm connected to all of these higher chakras and all of this awareness. And so even though it's scary, it's like, I'm just going to do it because it feels necessary. And it was like this deep sense of acceptance and releasing of resistance that, and again, they're taking me back to the story here where she dove into the ocean and kind of sacrificed herself in a way. Now, I'm not saying that that's a good thing to do. Usually it's not. Like in most cases, if you commit that act, it's very detrimental karmically for the soul. But what they're showing me here is that it wasn't like you took your own life. It was more like circumstances kind of put you in, they just gave me the word about face. Maybe you had to like change direction quickly. Again, that's kind of a message that was coming up in group 1 as well. But you kind of were like faced with these ultimatums that's what I'm sensing here. You were faced with these ultimatums in these past lives, and they did challenge you to choose integrity, even if that meant death. Holy cow. And your ancestors really want you to know that they saw you do that. Like they were there with you as you were doing this, and they are acknowledging your loyalty and determination, and the strength that it took, the courage and the bravery that it took to accept in that way. And they're showing me the coin here in the Ace of Discs being like offering yourself up to God almost. Oh my God. Yeah. So these were cycles of learning that you were going through at soul level. And it's almost like because you did stay within integrity, right? That was the goal. Like it wasn't about just sacrificing yourself for no reason. It was this staying. Wow. Okay. They just distracted me by causing me to look at the bottom of the deck, and it's the 3 of Wands, and you have that here. So that's twice. So that's really significant. And it's like the dedication to the ascension, because she's climbing up this ladder. So the dedication to your own ascension and what that meant for you in those lifetimes. And it varied from lifetime to lifetime, but they're showing me that it was like the dedication to your spiritual integrity, which is what the ascension is. It's not just here in this lifetime. Ascension is the spiritual evolution and growth as we express the aligned embodiment of our divine self in each incarnation. And we kind of build on that, and when we continue to kind of climb up the ladder, getting back to our source self. They're showing me that there was temptation in these past lives, and again, that was what you managed to avoid. And as a result of this, they are acknowledging that you have kind of what's the word? Yeah, I was trying to find a different word, but they told me like you won an inheritance, like you won this return, kind of like, yeah, wealth, prosperity, security, a lifetime where you don't have to make these really pivotal decisions that result in either life or death. It's like an easier lifetime is kind of what I'm seeing. And that's where you're at now. And it's through the path that you've trod up until this point, and the path that your ancestors have forged before you as well. Because there was, it almost feels like a lineage thing a little bit. No, maybe not. Not necessarily like that's a necessary pattern within the lineage. It's more like there's sort of footprints that you were walking in. Okay. So it's not necessarily that it's a necessity for all beings in this particular lineage to experience these types of lessons or experiences in lifetimes. It's more like you were kind of walking in the footsteps of the people who came before you. And they're saying that you don't have to do that anymore because you made the decision that others could not. Oh, okay. You made the decision that your ancestors really struggled with. And it's through that you've earned this inheritance. And that's why they use the word won, like you won it, almost like a lineage lottery. Who's going to get the lineage lottery? Which ancestor is going to be the one to, pull the lever and get the winning numbers? And it's you, group number 2, because you managed to stay within integrity in these lifetimes. You honored your spirit self above all else, is what they just said. Above all else. forsaking all human vices. So it was like a real sense of purity that you managed to adhere to within yourself. And it wasn't like by the book in any traditional sense. It was what was aligned with you and your soul. It was very unique to you. So it wasn't like you just abided by the words in the Bible, or you just stayed within the code of conduct of the knighthood or something like that. And that's why you were challenged, was because your code of conduct went against the code of conduct of certain timelines of, the norm in those times. And that's why you were challenged. And it was very sort of life or death ultimatum type thing. But you did it anyway. You chose alignment over all. And you won the lottery because of that. Your loyalty, your determination, your bravery. Because my God, does that take cojones. To be able to stand up and say, I'm going to stick to my integrity, even if that means death. Especially if you didn't have the conscious full awareness that you were a divine being that was immortal. Maybe you believed in that, but again, it's still scary nonetheless, right? Like death is, yeah. But I feel like in that lifetime or lifetimes, you had kind of emotionally prepared yourself for those types of decisions to take place, because I think you kind of saw a little bit forward into the timeline, and you knew that this was kind of going to be something that would come up. And so you mentally or emotionally prepared yourself for that. And I think that you incarnated into timelines where you had the capacity to understand death as a very natural part of life. I think that our society now is very like death fearing, and they just gave me the word death abhorrent. Like we abhor death. We're all searching for the fountain of youth and eternal life and stuff like that. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to stay young forever. And they're showing me that you incarnated into certain timelines where death was considered very normal and healthy, and even like not sought after, but it was kind of like, like Vikings who they really valued dying valiantly in battle. Like it was like an honor. It's kind of like that mentality, of death being something that if you do it right, it's a good thing. And it's actually something that you aspire to, ironically. Yeah, not like before your time, but if it comes, it comes, and you just really accept it. Yeah, acceptance. Right. Right. So that's what I'm seeing here. It's like you managed to kind of prepare yourself emotionally for that, and spiritually as well, and stay in alignment so that when your time did come and the kind of, the bell tolled, you were ready. And it was through that you managed to really accrue some major positive karma here, like very, very positive karma. That's the inheritance. That's the old man energy. It's like you're bringing through this inheritance from your lineage, from your own lineage, as well as the ancestry, because it was all that accrued effort from all of the different ancestors in your line who attempted that but didn't necessarily succeed where you succeeded. So you get the big payoff here, and it benefits your entire line is what they're showing me too. So it doesn't just benefit you. It's not like you won the lottery and you're the only one who gets to benefit from that. It's like as you struck it rich here in terms of your alignment, you also, posthumously is the word they use. That's funny. You retroactively give energy and benefits and karmic clearing and forgiveness is what they just said, through the understanding that you've achieved, because it's connected through the line. So your ancestors are grateful because they wanted you to succeed in this, and you did. And as a result, not only do you benefit, but so do they, because you're connected through the line. Wow. Okay, so let's get a couple of cards from this deck as well. There they are. So many beautiful decks that you guys sent me. I'm so just absolutely awestruck by these amazing, amazing decks. Look at this. House 6, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. So what they want you to focus on now, group number 2, is to maintain a lifestyle that is very much aligned with the principles that you upheld in those previous lifetimes. So integrity, bravery, alignment to your truth, connection to your spiritual. They gave me the word valiance. I was going to say truth, but they said spiritual valiance, whatever that means. But that's what really helps you to create this spiritual health, is what they just said. Yeah, spiritual health. You have house 7 as well, profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. So I wasn't really getting any of that in the rest of your cards, but since that's here, I feel like there is, they're saying that there's an outcome here that it does involve other people. Part of this inheritance, part of this inheritance is manifesting aligned relationships that are extremely loyal and determined to defend your integrity. Oh, so maybe in those past lives, the relationships that you had attracted were in that sort of negative karmic sense, challenging you to stay in your integrity. And because you succeeded at that, now you've got that positive aligned karma to attract relationships that help you to uphold that, because that is the frequency that you're operating at. Oh, okay. Yeah, you achieved something very major in these past lives, that you repeatedly chose this. So it wasn't just like once, it was like you repeatedly proved that you could choose this, even if you were in a different lifetime, even if you were a different version of you and different societal constructs and different relationships. You really kind of drove it home here, group number 2. And that's why you're creating a lot of stability for yourself in this lifetime. Yeah. These ones. Okay. They want me to grab some charms from this bag. Again, thank you so much to the subscriber who sent these charms and these beautiful bags. You know who you are. Okay. There. Okay. So the first one that's really standing out to me here is the heart with the white rose in it. And this again speaks to me of purity. And it could have been even something called the Order of the White Rose. For whatever reason, that just came into my mind. Something to do with, it's like the purity of the heart. Ooh, I just got a pitch change in my ear. Yeah, so something to do with purity of the heart. And there could have been like a knightly order that was called something to do with the Order of the White Rose or something like that. And they want me to put it on the death card. So it did have to do with this integrity, right? Like maybe there was misalignments there. Maybe there was distortions and things that were conflicting with you, that you had to choose your own purity. Oh, wow. You have I love you and the infinity sign. So I feel like, especially with the house 7 here, talking about relationships, I feel like there is a profound love that is waiting for you, or that is here because you have, again, aligned and stayed within your integrity. Now, this one's calling me. What does it say? It says, free, true, peace, brave, strong, happy, thankful, kind, and compassionate. So these are kind of some of the traits I think that you have embodied in these lifetimes and managed to stay in integrity in that way. I want to put it on soul star chakra, so it's like merging with the divine through these high vibrational emotions and actions. Okay, this one. You are my sunshine. So definitely, oh, and they just took me to this card here in the Empress, where she's got this wand and it's like radiating sunlight almost. So you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. That just happened. That just channeled through me. Like I just spontaneously started singing. I did not intend to do that. That's funny. I mean, I love singing. I sing a lot of my videos, but that just really was kind of like right out of me. I feel like this is the person The love. Yeah, the deep, deep love that you have. Oh, right. We did have love coming up with this card too. I totally forgot about that. And it's sitting right on top of house 7, and I love you infinitely. So this is like a deep, deep bonded soulmate connection. Yes, they gave me a big yes on that one. And this person, they may have even sang to you that song. I don't know what lifetime that would have been in, but there seems like there's something to do with the connection between you that's very deep and very profound, and it travels beyond time is what they just said. And then they directed me to the little charm that we have here with the plane. So this love travels beyond time and space, but specifically time, because they're drawing my attention to the Wheel of Fortune, which is to do with time and cycles of time. So yeah, it's the infinity. It's the cycle of the wheel is infinite because it's circular, and it's the same thing with the lemniscate, which is the infinity sign. It's connected and it's infinite and it's unified. So this relationship, this love, this deep and profound love is transcendent of time and space. There is ultimate loyalty here, ultimate loyalty between you and this partner. And yeah, it continually is reborn, is what they're saying here. Like, no matter if you die or they die in the lifetime, you just meet up in the next one and the next one and the next one. It's like, no matter what happens, you're very bonded together. And again, they're drawing my attention to brave and strong. And that was the phrasing that you had in your card. It was Knight, brave and honest. Okay, brave and honest, but still, I feel like you and this partner, you and this soulmate are extremely connected through the energy of bravery, honesty, integrity, and strength. And it's through that connection that you harmonize and come together. So when you're embodying that, they embody that, and you magnetize. Wow. Okay. This could be an older man for some of you who, if you haven't met them yet, just kind of like, so you're aware, it could be an older man if you're looking for a masculine partner. For some of you, if you're already with this person, they may be a little bit older than you. I don't mean like older, like old, but I mean like maybe a few years older or something like that. And it doesn't have to necessarily even be romantic. It's just like a deep sense of connection, really, is what I'm seeing here. But for others of you, I think that if you're the masculine, then it's like you're the older man in the equation, and you really bless. Yeah, there's like just so much loyalty. You bless this soul connection through your inheritance of that energy from that previous lifetime, staying in integrity. Very profound relationship here, definitely. All right, let me see if there's any closing messages for you, group number 2, from your ancestors. Anything else they'd like to speak on here? They said, yes, the crown chakra. They said the crown chakra is expanding. The expansion facilitates growth in all areas of life. This growth will allow for acceptance in a similar fashion as to what was coined in previous lifetimes through the embodiment of integrity. This releasing of attachment allows for profound blessings and support through these intimate relationships and partnerships to facilitate an experience of happiness and deep, deep strength of connection. This is the ascension process. That is all. Okay. Thank you. So that was directly from the ancestor. So there you go. That is what I have for you, group number 2. That is what your ancestors wanted to say to you. I hope that this reading was supportive and helpful for you. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the subscribers who have sent in all of these decks of cards and charms and all of the, I feel so, so deeply blessed. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you to the members who support the channel in that way as well. And if you guys are interested in becoming a member, you can check out the tiers below by hitting the join button that will give you access to ad-free pick-a-card readings, weekly guidance, monthly live streams with me where I answer questions and do provide healing as well. And I'm also going to be doing more how-to tutorials on spiritual development, ascension, and things like that, plus tarot courses that you will see there on the Soul Family member side of the channel. So if you guys are interested, check it out. Let me know how you're enjoying the readings. Comment below, like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. I love you guys. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your ancestors reading. So you chose Protection Guardian. Drop your shields. Let's find out what your ancestors are trying to relay to you in terms of this message and what you need to be doing right now in regard to this protection. So I'm feeling called to actually start with the tarot for your group. So let's take a look at this deck that was so generously donated by a very generous, very loyal subscriber. Thank you so much for this. I love this deck. You have the 9 of Cups. Wow, this is the wish fulfillment card. So something to do with your happiness and your fulfillment. I'm seeing like portal ways into beautiful, abundant life. Yeah, just really positive. You have the 2 of Wands. Okay. You have the 6 of Cups as well. I'm seeing messages here to do with travel, but I want to wait until we get all the rest of the cards out on the table to see. You also have the 5 of Cups. Lots to do with the emotions. I think the protection they're talking about here is very much to do with emotional components. Yeah, you definitely have a lot of emotional stuff going on here. We got the 3 of Cups as well. And I want to get one more and then we'll get the other cards as well. The 2 of Discs. Okay. So let's grab some Lemuria cards for you, group 3. Reclaim your energy. All right. Something about emotional energy that you're needing to protect, like calling back your emotional energy so that you can sustain yourself. You have Realm Bridger as well. Yeah. That was what I was seeing there with the 9 of Cups. It's like there's a portal or there's a doorway that's bridging into another realm. 2 of Wands can speak of that as well. And I was picking up on travel. It doesn't have to be literal travel. It might just be like emotional energy that's traveling between these different realms. And you kind of need to protect yourself from the past. It's like past timelines. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. Okay. And you have this deck as well, the White Light Oracle. Thank you so much to the subscriber who donated this one as well. Okay, there's a lot of nakedness on this one, so I got to cover that up. All right, for group 3, Spirit, what do their ancestors want them to be focusing on? I do feel those too. You have peace. I think it was group 2 who had this one. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. This inner peace that comes from this emotional, I just heard solitude, but I think it's more so just about kind of like reclamation, reclaiming your emotional energy. No way, you have courage. That was the exact 2 cards that I think it was group 2 who had them. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am light and I remain light. I trust in God and stand tall before the tests of life. I grow and become wiser through every challenge. I am a being of new life. So I definitely get this feeling that you're entering into a new life, group number 3. You're kind of in the in-between right now, like at a crossroads. You're bridging the realms. Yeah, definitely. And they're calling you, your ancestors are calling you to reclaim your emotional energy because that's going to help you to remove your attention or your focus or your energetic involvement with the past and allow you to move forward into something that's a lot more balanced, more stable, and it has a balance like that I'm seeing here between the Three of Cups and the Nine of Cups is like solitary happiness and group happiness. And you have hidden gem, pearl. So there's definitely a hidden gem here that your ancestors are wanting you to open up to or to receive in some way. It feels like a pearl of wisdom. Okay, so group number 3. I'm seeing that they want you to drop your shields in regard to how you connect to other people emotionally. I think that there is some pain and like emotional, it feels almost a little bit like embarrassment here in the Five of Cups, like feeling embarrassed in the face of other people's judgments or perceptions or even accusations or something, or just feeling a sense of shame is what I'm sensing here. This could be related to the past, and your ancestors are wanting you to know that this was kind of passed down to you in childhood and it didn't even really come from you. It was like imparted upon you. But there is something hidden within this. It was like a very distorted gift. It's not a gift at all, really. It's like a wound. But they're saying that you can create a pearl out of this, because even like the idea of the pearl, it is sand. It is an irritant. It is something that is not meant to be there. That through the adaptation, the clam or the oyster will coat with that substance that becomes layer after layer the pearl, which is highly valued. So I feel like there's value here in your ability to repeatedly sort of face this inner demon, if you will, of this shame, this grief, and this embarrassment of being perceived in a way that maybe made you feel a sense of shame in the past, maybe even for feeling your own confidence or being connected socially to groups of people. This could have happened within groups of people. I'm seeing it definitely having occurred in childhood, and they want you to reclaim your energy around that, because it's going to help you to bridge into this new, very successful, more like open-ended life where you're not stuck in the same patterns of the past. They don't want you repeating those. They want you to move out of them. That's why they keep showing me the doorway in the Nine of Cups and then the boats in the Six of Cups. So they want you to travel, energetically out of that old timeline, which was fraught with disconnection, self-doubt, embarrassment, and shame, so that you can enter into a time of more peace, feeling more connected and strong within yourself, that you've kind of catalyzed this experience into something really powerful and essentially wisdom, like pearls of wisdom. I do want to read the Beatitude of Sacred Rapture. Okay, so it says, let your true self be seen. Search for the deeper spiritual purpose and opportunity for healing beneath conflict and suffering. If you have been in pain, this oracle brings a message of a joyful breakthrough. Your soul is growing stronger, more able to have faith in wisdom than in judgment or doubt. Commit to your spiritual path and know you are making progress, even if things seem more difficult for a time. Know that any such difficulty is part of your healing and that you will successfully move through it. Trust yourself. Yeah, I love that they're talking about a breakthrough here, which is really like that open doorway that I see in the Nine of Cups. They're referencing the pain here we're seeing in the Five of Cups. I mean, even if you just look at this card, she's obviously in pain. She's having a hard time. And I did feel that energy of judgment. And then here it is. They're talking about, yeah, your soul is growing stronger, more able to have faith in wisdom than in judgment or doubt. So it's really about trusting yourself here. And that's kind of part of this difficulty, was that you learned not to trust yourself, maybe because of judgments or projections from other people. But again, you're at a crossroads right now. You have two twos, which is a choice or a decision that you have to make here. And I think that this is to do with, are you going to repeat those emotional patterns of the past, or are you going to move into a timeline, really, because that's the bridging between the realms, where you can actually experience more peace because you trust yourself and you have the courage to be able to show up as you are, no longer hiding behind false masks or removing yourself from the eyes or judging perceptions of others. I think that's why they're saying, like, let down your shields. Yeah, drop your shields, because it's these shields that have actually weighed you down. Now, that doesn't mean to get rid of boundaries. Obviously, boundaries are crucial here. Actually, they're what's going to help you to reclaim your energy, because it was through the lack of boundaries and the integration or taking on of other people's judgments, perceptions, and shame that you ended up in this position in the first place. So the hidden gem here is really actually about trusting yourself, which means setting those boundaries so that you know who you are and you don't take on any false perceptions that are not you. So it is really getting to know yourself better and connecting to this real authentic sense of happiness where you don't have to hide yourself anymore. You don't have to mask. You don't have to feel ashamed. You can really just be free to be you. That's what I see here. Being free to be you is really the point of this. And your ancestors are fighting for you to be able to do that, is what they just said. And it feels like they're fighting on your behalf in the sense that they are trying to bring awareness to these patterns so that you can see it. All of the eyes here in the Five of Cups, it's like they want you to be able to see it for what it is so that you can shift the pattern, that you can change it. You can see it from a broader perspective and feel more comfortable being able to open up and expand and maybe socialize or connect to other people. I feel like even if you are social, even if you are connecting to other people, it's like there's this layer of shame that kept a part of you hidden beneath the surface. And so it was like surface level connection rather than that deep soul level bonded emotional connection that your soul really needs and that we all need as humans. You know, we need to have that sense of belonging. We need to have a sense of acceptance and understanding from other people to really feel secure in the world. And it's hard to do that if we constantly have these walls up against other people because we're scared that they're going to judge the vulnerable parts of us. And that's where courage comes in. It takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable, but it's the greatest strength that you can have. And that's what allows you to reclaim your energy, because you're no longer giving so much energy to maintaining that force field is kind of what they're showing it to me as, like that shield, that barrier that prevents people from seeing this perception of shame that you have about yourself that you internalized from maybe experiences in childhood. Could be to do with your upbringing, could have been to do with social groups, friends, could have been in school. And this, I think it stems from the ancestors as well. Like this is a pattern that they're showing me. Your parents, your grandparents, their parents and their parents, and so on and so forth. It's like this is a very sort of lineage-based wound around shame of being perceived or fear of being judged and the grief that really comes along with that. So let's get some clarifiers from this tarot deck. Thank you to the subscriber who sent these in for us using my Amazon wish list. You have the Hierophant. So it's like a new tradition of what you can do to change your circumstances. I feel like it's getting back to before this wound occurred. Like that's kind of what they're showing me here. And this Hierophant looks like a medicine woman for whatever reason. That's what I'm getting from her. Like she looks like she really knows the secrets of nature. She's giving me like shaman vibes. So I feel like this is reconnecting to your authentic truth, whatever that happens to be, and doing it in a very holistic way. You also have the Queen of Swords. So this is cutting through to the truth of the matter is what I'm seeing here, and doing it boldly and courageously, which means kind of facing where you've judged yourself. Because a lot of the time, if we've internalized judgment from outside of us, first of all, that either means that we were judging ourselves to begin with and that was a reflection, or we were so young we didn't really have a concept of self, and so we just internalized that and integrated it into our personality or sense of self. And so it became a pattern or a habit of looking at ourselves that way. It's like that inner voice was built by someone else, and you kind of have to see where that came into play and rediscover your own authentic voice. Yeah, they're showing me the heads in the background that she's cut off. It's like being a little bit ruthless here in the search for the truth within yourself, so that you can really kind of cut the heads off of any of those voices that really seek to disempower you within yourself, right? Like you're slaying those inner demons because you're no longer going to listen to them. Like you are taking your power back. You're reclaiming your energy by going into a little bit of a warrior sort of internal mode here, where you're fearless. You have the courage to be able to face these voices instead of cowering and hiding from them and allowing them to continue to shame you into a corner. Wow. You have the King of Coins. This could have been to do with a father for some of you, because the King of Coins just gave me that father energy. It could have been in the father's side of the line, but I'm seeing a lot of stability here that comes from you being able to face this truth and to heal. We do have a lot of Taurus energy here with the King of Coins and the Hierophant. So you could be a Taurus or have Taurus energy, sort of predominant in this pattern. You have the Four of Cups as well. I feel like it's kind of rediscovering your own value and what you actually do find value in. That's going to counter the shame, is what they're saying, because if you have not valued yourself, then the shame becomes very prevalent, because it's saying to you, you are worthless, you are, this or that, something, negative thoughts and perceptions about the self that may have come from the outside. And it's kind of like rediscovering your value and your own inner authentic truth. Again, even if these irritants caused the issue in the first place, I feel like you're catalyzing or you're transmuting that into something valuable with the pearl, the hidden gem. And it's through seeing your own hidden gems, your own pearls of wisdom, your own value within yourself that you're going to be able to uncover this and really feel more confident to be able to show up in the world in your naked skin, your authentic self. You do have the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I did want to show that. So that's to do with courage, new action, inspiration to move out of this pattern. You have the Empress. You have a lot of strong energy. You have like very creative, valuable, self-expressive energy here. And you have the capability to be very, very balanced. And it's really just this shame wound around this like perception of judgment that has been kind of keeping you stuck in this Ten of Swords energy. Wow. Yeah. So this was the old wound, was that you were going to be abandoned, cut off, left for dead is what I just heard. Wow. Drowning. Yeah, drowning alone, asking for help, not receiving it. And it's like judgment, like you shouldn't be asking for help even though you're drowning. And it's like this feeling of, yeah, because look at even in these two cards, the two most intense cards in your reading, they're both in water. So it's very emotional. The water is the element of the subconscious mind and the emotional body. So I feel like it's to do with getting recentered and regrounded that is going to help you to be able to tackle these tough emotions and catalyze this pain or this wound into wisdom, and to be able to kind of save yourself here, because that's what I'm seeing. If other people really kind of cut off your fingers when you were trying to claw your way back into the boat when you were drowning, I feel like you're going to, they're showing me somebody learning to breathe water. It's kind of like you're able to survive somehow, and then you're able to thrive, like you build this beautiful life under the sea or something like that. It's like you adapt and you're able to transmute and transform your situation, because it's through the inner catalyzation of your shame into a sense of courage and inner peace that is allowing for, or rather creating, I should say, it's not allowing for, you are creating, directly influencing the outcome here, because you're not allowing that external influence or those eyes of and perceptions of judgment to keep you in that state of drowning. It's like you learn to swim, you learn to breathe water, you learn to build a life that it feels stable and secure within your own emotional body. Okay, let's get some charms for you guys. Thank you to the donor who sent these in as well. You guys really blessed me here with all of these treats for the readings. Okay, so for group number 3, Spirit, what do they need to know? Okay, the first one I'm seeing, and I know which one it is because this one came up in another group recently. You have, this is like the little bunny with the Alice in Wonderland vibe to it, and they want me to put it with the card of peace. So I feel like it's finding inner peace in that subconscious mind. It's like Alice, she goes on this wild adventure down the rabbit hole in Wonderland, and she kind of has to find herself amidst the chaos of this very unpredictable realm, because she's in it and she doesn't know how to get out. So it's kind of like she has to just accept it for what it is and find security within herself, because she can't really find security in the external where she's at. So that's what I'm seeing here. It's like this unwavering inner peace in the face of fear. It's having courage in the face of fear and being determined through this inner peace to create a new life for yourself and bridge into something that is magical. It's like finding your power. Yeah, finding your power by reclaiming your energy. I love that you have the pearl here in the clamshell, because look at that, just really confirming what we're seeing here with pearl, this hidden gem that's within you. That's what you've got here. And it might be buried pretty deep. And that's why I think you have to kind of go into the depths of yourself to find it. And that's why your ancestors are encouraging you to do this, because it's going to help you to find this value. It's going to help you to, alchemize this value, is what they just said. You have a little umbrella, and they're saying, again, drop your shield is what they just gave me from this umbrella. It's like, drop your shield. If you were trying to shield yourself, again, water representing the emotions, you're trying to shield yourself from your own emotions. They're like, let yourself feel them, but dance in the rain, rather than letting the rain beat you down and feeling as though you're drowning in the rain. They're showing me somebody who has removed the umbrella and they're going jumping and playing in the puddles. So it's kind of like making the best of a bad situation, which is really what the pearl was talking about as well. So I'm actually going to put that over there. Making the best of a bad situation by how you choose to approach it and what you choose to turn that situation into. It's really like self-determination that I'm seeing here. Yeah, you have the butterfly transformation. Actually, you have 2 butterflies. Red speaks of the root chakra. Pink speaks of the heart chakra, or the high heart. So I feel like, and I want to put these here on the 5 of Cups. So this is emotional transformation. You're transforming the way you see yourself and creating more freedom so that you can exist beyond the projections and perceptions of others. That's what they just said. Wow. Yeah. You have a bunny with a carrot. So I feel like if you felt like you were chasing this white rabbit down, the rabbit hole and coming up short or coming up empty and never finding anything, I feel like you're going to get that carrot. It's like your spirit team, your higher self, your ancestors have kind of been dangling this carrot in front of you to make sure that you got to the right place. But they want you to know that it's not like a futile fool's errand is the phrase that they just used. Fool's errand. It's not that. It's like you are going to get the carrot. You are going to get the reward here. You just have to remain consistent and choose to be able to move toward this personal development and growth for yourself, by yourself, because it's through you that you create this happiness and step into this new realm, new life. Okay, you have the green heart. So this is, again, very heart chakra based, and they want me to put it here on pearl. They want me to put a lot of these on pearl, interestingly enough. So this is talking about the hidden gem being hidden in your heart, and it is to do with your relationship with self then, because the heart chakra is to do with your relationship with self and by extension, your relationship with others. And we have another butterfly here I didn't notice. So you've got 3 butterflies in your reading, and I just noticed that there's actually one here in this card as well. So you've got, and there's a bunch here. They're just showing me all the butterflies. I didn't notice. Wow. So you have a ton of butterflies in your reading, group number 3, and they want you to know that this is representative of your capacity to transform pain into power, personal power, through this peace and courage and trust within yourself. It's trusting yourself to be able to feel these things, to hold space for them, to not let them consume you, and then to choose how you respond and what you create out of that. Now we have the acorn, and this speaks to me of something very small that will become something very great. It's like all of the potential of the oak tree is held within the acorn. They actually just expanded and elaborated on that, and they told me all of the potential of a vast forest is held within the acorn. One single acorn can create an entire forest, not just one tree. And oak trees they last for a really long time. Now they're drawing me to the King of Coins again with the tree on this turtle's back. So it does take a long time to grow, but once it does, not only is it extremely stable and long lasting, because oak trees can, live for hundreds and hundreds of years, but it's also going to create a lot of abundance in this creation of the forest, right? It's like having better connections with other people, more sense of belonging, and a sense of community is really what I'm getting. Because as you accept yourself and you don't let that fear hold you back anymore through the internalization of the wounds that have come before, you're able to better connect to other people. Now the acorn also speaks of wisdom. So yeah, you've got this hidden gem of wisdom, this pearl of wisdom within you. You've got the seed of wisdom. The acorn is there. It just needs the fertile soil to be able to grow. And that is what's going to help you to transcend from one state of being to the other. You have a cloud here, but he looks happy. He's a little happy cloud. So I feel like this is, and they're giving me the song in my head, rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Yeah, so I want to put it here with the umbrella, because I feel like it's like the clouds of the past. These perceptions of self, these wounds in the heart. You're going to learn to balance them out through sheer will, through determination to be happy. And they're showing me the clouds in the 9 of Cups. See through the door there? There's these nice fluffy clouds and this beautiful sun. Yeah, so it feels like where the clouds obscured the truth, now they're actually going to be helping you find your way. I don't know what that really means. I'm sure I could really dissect it, but I'm going to keep going. So I'll just leave that up to you. You've got the star here, or a star. Yeah, they do want me to put this on the 2 of Wands. So it's like kind of your North Star is what it feels like, that inner guidepost, that intuitive knowing that calls you in a certain direction, because the 2 of Wands is about making a decision. Where do you want to go? What do you want to invest your time and energy into? What actions are you going to take? And what are those going to lead you to? And the star here helps you to find that direction. And since we also had the bunny with the carrot here, it's like, again, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your higher self are guiding you in the right direction. You just have to listen to that intuitive knowing and know that it's not like a futile errand. It will result in a good outcome for you. And what are these? Balloons. Balloons feels like celebration to me. So I get the sense that there's going to be a celebration once you kind of let go of the weight that has been holding you down. Because now what they're showing me is like weights on the bottom of these balloons, keeping them kind of stuck. And some of them want to fly free. So it's allowing yourself to, and I just very unconsciously, put it over here on the 3 of Cups without really thinking. And it makes sense because the 3 of Cups is this card of celebration. It can represent quite literally parties, as we can see in the imagery here. I don't know. I don't want to get it all out there, but yeah, it's like going to a party. So, and balloons are like the international symbol for party. I don't remember where that reference is from, but yeah, they are. So it does feel like there's going to be celebration here. You're going to feel more comfortable connecting with people. You're just going to feel more confident in yourself is what I'm feeling. And then lastly, we have these like little sparkles, and there's like a little tiny happy face on them. So I feel like this is kind of the new shimmery, glittery, authentic you that's shining through once you sort of polish yourself up a bit on the inside and emotionally kind of purge some of these things that have been really weighing you down, and not in a good way, right? Like they were not anchoring you and helping you root. They were weighing you down and causing you to drown. But now it's like you're able to find a way to create that inner stability and that inner security that, again, allows you or affords you the ability to be able to exist in the environment that once you thought would kill you, and now instead you're able to thrive and to expand. You're finding balance here, you're creating balance, and that's what really, it's going to be steps forward, but it's going to show you the magic in life again, is what they just said. And your ancestors really, they are backing you on this in a really big way because they want you to be free. They don't want you to be weighed down by these emotional wounds and these internal distortions of mind, really, because it's mind and emotion. They're showing me all of the eyes here. It's like a distorted perception of yourself. It's a distorted truth. It's not the real truth. It's an illusion. And that's why it's like the Cheshire cat, sort of like it's a trickster type of energy that you've internalized, and that's become the inner monologue. And it's through the alchemization of that into wisdom and the value that you truly hold, which is your ability to see yourself through this whole situation and know that that piece of your, your courage to be able to keep going and to find a way to bridge these realms so that you can exit, the nightmare and come into the dream, the real peaceful dream that you're meant to be in and create, because this is your life. It's your reality. And allowing or having unconsciously allowed other people to dictate what that looked like for you, kind of operating on autopilot, is not serving. And that's why your ancestors are saying, hey, we're trying to guide you and lead you in the right direction so that you can empower yourself and create a reality that's really safer for you, so that you have the energy, you have the power, you have the confidence, you have the happiness and the self-trust, plus the healthy boundaries to be able to create stability and security and grow and feel connected in a sense of belonging, while at the same time allowing those shields that you absolutely needed for survival at one point to fall away because they've become heavy and rusted and harmful. So that is what I see for you, group number 3. This is a very powerful message from your ancestors. They are advocating a lot here for your freedom through inner peace and the courage to face your fears and your wounds. So I'm sending you so much love to be able to do that, so you can transform and transcend any of those limitations that kept you weighed down internally, and live your best life, okay? So I'm sending you many blessings and well wishes to be able to do this, and Spirit and Ancestor are here on your side, so just know that you're not doing this alone, okay? And you are loved and you are valuable, extremely valuable. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that this reading was helpful and supportive of you on your journey. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel if you like my readings. And if you love my readings and you want to support the channel even more, I do have memberships available, which will give you access to ad-free pick-a-card readings, weekly guidance, live streams, how-to tutorials, upcoming courses as well. Some of them will be available through the membership area, and others will be on my website. It's ToKittyandBeyond.com. And so much more. So if you guys are interested, hit the join button down below to check out the tiers. And if you don't see it there, then you may have to go through a web page or a desktop computer to access it, as sometimes it doesn't show up on iPhones or iPads. So thank you so much, guys. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.